Love-hate relationship. I love you, but I can't stand you. Love-hate relationships can be very damaging. Read on to learn all about them. Love-hate relationships are not the exception to a rule. In fact, many people are not willing to admit the percentage of love and hate that exists in their relationship. This reluctance has led people to believe that everyone has perfect relationships, as that is how they are portrayed on social media. If you believed all the pictures and posts, you would think that everyone has idyllic relationships without conflicts. But beneath this guise of happiness often lies a love-hate dynamic. But what is the root cause of this very common phenomenon? How is it possible to feel so ambivalent about a person? Gradually. At the beginning of a relationship, you tend to feel like you're floating on a cloud, that nothing can go wrong. Over time, however, your partner begins to behave somewhat passive-aggressively. Little by little you begin to feel conflicting emotions. On the one hand, you love your partner. On the other hand, however, you feel something completely different. Perhaps aversion, anger, or even hatred. Usually, people are not aware of the reason why this love-hate dynamic creeps into their relationship, because it happens gradually. Over time, you may start treating your partner the same way he/she treats you as a reaction to his/her behavior. That way you both end up disrespecting each other. Your relationship becomes dysfunctional. The question is, can hate spring from the same source as love? Love and hate. In answer to the previous question, love can spring from the memory of the first ideal moments as a couple. Many people think, it used to be so nice before, it will probably be like that again. Another thing that sustains many love-hate relationships is not love at all. It is codependency. The love they felt in the beginning gives way to emotional codependence and attachment. This addiction is why so many people have difficulty ending love-hate relationships. In fact, it would be more accurate to call them codependency-hate relationships. There is also a tendency to blame your partner for your unhappiness. You're not who you used to be and you don't make me happy anymore. When that happens, the feeling of hatred only grows because you believe that your partner is the reason you feel bad. Love does not consist in staring at each other, but in looking outward together in the same direction. Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. Love-hate relationships aren't always so obvious. On the other hand, you can be in a respectful relationship but still feel aversion. What worked so well in the beginning and helped you grow has turned into a sort of aversion over time and you just don't know why. When you start a new relationship, you tend to idealize the other person. But with time you start to see their faults and reflect on them. Little by little, a part of who they are starts to bother you. Many people ask themselves, why can't I stand my partner if he/she hasn't done anything to me? Or why does everything he/she does bother me? These types of situations are more difficult to analyze. On the one hand, you cling to the original memory of your partner, because you just can't understand that people change over time. Eventually, you realize that you're with someone you're just not compatible with anymore. Relationships start like sparks. When you're in a new relationship, you overlook everything. Infatuation turns into love. You get to know your partner. Over time you realize that you don't get along so well with each other. However, it is easy to end up in addiction. This makes it very difficult to end a relationship. Ending love-hate relationships. Ending a love-hate relationship is much easier than you might think. You often hear that there is a fine line between love and hate. That may be true, but people have the ability to decide not to hate. When both parties start being disrespectful to each other, the best solution is either to get professional help or to end the relationship. Here, love has faded into the background, and all that remains are bad manners and addiction. In the second case, it is important that instead of hating your partner because he/she does not make you happy, you recognize that your happiness is not his/her responsibility. They are not obligated to meet your expectations. Therefore, you can try to accept your partner exactly as he/she is or make a decision about the relationship. Before starting a relationship with someone, you should consider having reasonable expectations. That way, you won't feel betrayed or cheated when they don't fulfill them. On the other hand, if you foster your ability to enjoy time alone, you will be more resistant to addiction. If you know how to enjoy your own company, it will be easier to accept your partner for who he/she is with all his/her strengths and flaws. Therefore, you will not easily fall into the love-hate dynamic. If you know how to love yourself and enjoy your own company and avoid strict expectations, it will be easier for you to accept your partner.